Magicbricks recently released a report, an interiors report, which suggests that India's home interiors market is set to double itself to about $25 billion by 2030. And the growth of interiors market is driven by all kind of asset class and all kind of markets, all different geographies and micro markets. Namely so, new properties or the primary market is likely to contribute to about 65% of this growth, and the secondary transactions are likely to contribute to about 35% of this growth. And while tier 1 cities like Mumbai, metropolitan region, Delhi NCR, Hyderabad, Bengaluru, Chennai, Pune, etc. are the main drivers of this market, there is a notable increase in the interest for organized interiors coming now from tier 2 and tier 3 towns as well. And we are witnessing this shift of this industry moving from unorganized largely to a set of organized players coming in now and expanding their geographical reach and consumer reach, and therefore consolidating the market. The most important data here is that a well-designed interior can increase a property's resale value by up to 70%. And in a lot of cases, the rental yields go up by about 40 to 45% as well. This is a significant impact on the value of the property. We are going to discuss this interesting phenomena of how interiors adds value to the real estate market, to the property market. Namaskar, I'm Prasoon Kumar and you're watching this new episode of The Property Show. To discuss this very, very important an interesting topic, I've got a stellar set of panels. Let me start with introduction of the panelists. We have got Ms. Meryl Savitri, who's founder and principal architect at Savitri Studios. Savitri Studios is based in Hyderabad and specializes in residential and commercial interior designs. We have got Ms. Shruti Okaboy, who is CEO of design at A&J Group, which has over 4 decades of experience in design and build, operating across multiple cities. We have got Mr. Rishabh Agarwal, who is founder and principal designer of HomeWiz, which offers end-to-end services from concept to creation for homes and offices. And we have got Mr. Faisal Vora, who's founder partner of F&S Designs, or rather F plus S Designs, Architecture and Interior Design Studios. And they specialize in luxury residences, holiday homes, restaurants, retails, and office spaces. So welcome all of you to the show. To begin with, let's start understanding interiors as a market for our viewers. As I said, the report suggests that this market is currently valued at about $10 to $12 billion and it's likely to double itself over the next 5 years. Let's just understand what's happening in this market, right? And what are the growth drivers at this point of time? Let's start with you, Faisal.
A lot has to do with the emergence of the tier 2 and the tier 3. The metros have their escalation of demand, but at the same time, they have cyclical rates that, go according to the market trend. What we have been seeing a huge surge significantly in is tier 2s coming up to the fore and indeed spending very big ticket sales as well as interiors and stuff.
Okay.
We have seen the emergence of Coimbatore as a tremendous center for demand. We have seen Kochi come up. We have seen Surat, Baroda come up. So these tier 2s are really driving a lot of growth right.
Shruti, so tier 2 towns and tier 3 towns, the new emerging towns, as per Faisal, are one of the growth drivers of interiors as a market, right? Any other growth drivers that comes to your mind?
Yes, in fact, I would say tier 2. I would not say tier 2, tier 3, but in a lot of parts of Gujarat, there are a lot of manufacturing units that are setting up currently, which are like in remote rural areas. So that is also one of the growth sector that is coming up in India at a very fast pace. And as far as interiors are concerned, their admin blocks and their process blocks and lot many things that comes to our kitty for designing.
Okay. Meryl, what's your take on what are some of these growth drivers?
So I think one growth driver also is government initiatives on, bringing smart cities into play and housing schemes. And I also think availability of finances to a lot of people, in tier 2, tier 3 cities, and otherwise also, is also, rapidly growing. And so I think that is also one of the growth factor for the interior industry. I mean, you have loans available for doing interiors also, which I don't think was, back in the day, that was something that was available at all.
Okay. Rishabh, your take on this?
I feel one of the main growth factors for this industry is awareness. Like, I feel previously they were not much aware. They didn't know what interiors is, how it helped everyone with functionality and all. But I think now, I think people know. People know it's actually helpful in a lot of ways for them.
Rishabh, you're making an important point, which is the awareness about quality interiors and how does it really help to not only improve overall aesthetics but also functionality, right? Building on that, if we have to define it for our users, how does interior really help them in increasing or enhancing the overall functionality of the space that they are in? Let's just help our users understand that. Let's start with you, Rishabh, since you made this point.
See, whenever we talk about functionality, it's more about making it more livable, about how you use the space every inch, and also we know everything is getting so expensive, so every inch matters over here. So making it in a way that every inch is used, and not just used in a proper way. So that will make a lot of difference in especially the value of the place. So, like, just for example, if we design a room of 10 by 10 in a way that you don't have enough space for the bed and the wardrobe both, and vice versa, you design it in a way you have enough space for storage as well. So that will definitely make the place more valuable when you are going to design it better.
Shruti, this entire sense of elevation of functionality, right, could of course be one of the tangible value delivery for the consumer, right? If you expand this and get into areas of security, technology, and whole lot of other things, what are some of those things that you would want to talk about?
Coming majorly from corporate side that we've been doing for all these years, what we have also seen is that the security technology is become a different subject altogether. Earlier, it was only a matter of tick in the box kind of thing. But after the presence of AI, or I would say the AI being a very important part of any office today, technology has taken a different shape altogether. Now, technology is not something that you give as a value add to a customer. Technology is something that has to be inbuilt into your design. So I would say technology and security has taken and become a very different subject.
Okay, Faisal, Shruti is making a point from a organization's perspective and how say office spaces or other such spaces are right now looking at it. Talking about it from an individual's point of view, how important are some of these factors? Be it technology, be it green spaces, or some of these concepts. How important are these emerging fast, or these are still pretty much conceptual and not really in demand?
Well, you make a fair point, Prasun. Now, these are two different things. One is having access to green spaces, and the second is technology in terms of interiors as a whole in a residential space. As Shruti was mentioning, we as a market are at a position wherein technologies such as automation have become very mainstream. Um, if you maybe a little more advanced automation on a DALI or something like that might still be a thing of choice, but let's say retrospective Wi-Fi based automation has become very common, and I think it is being absorbed as a matter of doing your interior quite normally. Right. So most people are preferring at least basic automation in terms of lighting control and curtain controls and stuff, if not anything else, at the very least. So these kind of technologies have a lot of integration into residential market in India right now, and thus you see a lot of proliferation of known brands, unknown brands, a lot of new entrants entering the market. The entry barrier is very, very low in this. And then the tech basically goes up significantly in value when you add a lot more other considerations to that. Now, when we come to the green spaces, a significant mind shift happened during COVID when people were basically in very close habitable spaces and had a sense of claustrophobia, had a sense of not being able to go anywhere. So, at least in Hyderabad, and I'm pretty sure this is something that a lot of other places would have seen, is that the sales of farmhouses went through the roof.
Or second home, holiday homes.
Surprisingly, a lot of people have moved their primary residences to these places, especially the people in the tech, right? People with remote work are now living very far away from the city.
Yes.
I think people felt the need for isolation, felt the need for green spaces, felt the need to have some level of walkability around their immediate habitable spaces, their residences and stuff. And it makes a tremendous amount of difference to the overall value and the well-being of a person living in a space. There's no doubt about it.
Okay. No, but is there adaptability of it, right? I mean, the point is conceptually, yes. But do you see this getting translated actually into demand in market? Are consumers coming to you, are users coming to you and saying, okay, fine, I need this technology when you're designing this, or I need, some sort of a green space solution when you're designing my home or my flat or whatever. Is this actually happening?
As a studio, we have a tremendous amount of onus on landscaping to begin with, in terms of the language and the philosophy that we follow in terms of design. We have a lot of courtyards, we have a lot of green spaces in across typologies, whether we are doing restaurants or residences, etc. But in terms of a client brief, there is a very perceptible difference in people, even if they have smaller spaces, they are ready to accommodate some level of compromises, but have balconies that open up, have green spaces that they have access to. And we have had clients who have made it a point to make it a part of the brief, even though it is part of the, the language of the firm that we have. And we have seen clients actually, a few of them request courtyards and request, gardening spots and stuff.
Okay, all right. Meryl, you seem to be agreeing with everything that Faisal is saying. Tell me, I take this question to you now. Is there an actual demand on the ground for a lot of these solutions that we are talking about on the corporate side, on the commercial side, office space, etc.? Of course, one understands that there is a, the trend comes early and things happen. But on the retail side, on the individual consumer side, is this translating into demand?
Unlike what people usually think what automation is just turn on and turn off of lights or whatever. There's a lot more that automation is doing, and that is exactly why there is a growing demand. For example, I'll just give you a simple example. Smart automation is now moving towards voice controlled integration, and why I would say that is because people want to keep their walls and they want to keep their interiors clutter free. And sometimes automation brings in a lot of clutter, with respect to a lot of visible cables and remotes and all of that. So they're trying to look for solutions which are now going to move towards voice controlled integration. And also I think the current generation, you would say that with all of this AI and automation coming in, I think the generation is moving towards a little bit of impatience, if I can, if I think my the panel would agree to.
Of course, you are dealing with you were dealing with millennials, now you're dealing with Gen Z, right, who are entering real estate market, so that's understandable.
Right. So when you're catering to Gen Z or Gen Alpha or whatever else that you will come ahead in time, and I would like to say that I think it's very important that the real estate industry and the design industry also adapts these. Not just look at it as an added feature, but also something that eases life.
No, of course, I think post-COVID, there has been a clear shift in terms of consumer mindset and demand. On the real estate side, we have seen the demand for larger spaces, the demand for an extra room, the demand for larger balconies, and all these things are reality. Rishabh, मैं यही क्वेश्चन आपके पास लेकर आ रहा हूँ, सेम क्वेश्चन टू यू. What kind of demand trends are you seeing? What are some of the must-haves that consumers are coming to you and saying this is something we definitely want now?
So on the same note, I really think it is not just that people need it. It's not just that they are asking for it. They actually need it. Like Faisal said, for their well-being, it is going to affect them psychologically so bad in case if they are not having proper openings in their house, not proper big balconies with proper gardens around. And for the same thing, there is this new concept which is really trending a lot, is balcony gardens. Because as you see, we have not made much of open spaces previously. Now, okay, we are working towards it, I agree. Previously, we didn't. So whenever we get a renovation projects wherein they don't have much of open spaces and gardens up outside their apartments, they are coming up with proper gardening in their balconies, and indoor planting also have increased after which.
Okay. Shruti, I wanted to get a. Sorry, yes, you wanted to say something.
Sorry, Prasan. I just wanted to add to kind of, entire topic that we were talking about. More than anything, whether it is millennials, Gen Z, or Alpha, I feel the people around are more into now, a lifestyle change after pandemic. It's a lifestyle change that people are investing into. So it's upon us how we create that kind of flexible spaces for them, whether they are at home or whether they're at work. The feelings, the kind of amenities that they expect to live that kind of lifestyle, more health centric and wellness centric, is something that is kind of things that people are looking around for and investing into as well.
The demand for lifestyle, right, and that being a driver of this change in interiors per se, right, and lifestyle is also enabled not only by the environmental factors and other factors that have been around us. It's also because economy has grown, disposable incomes have grown. As a society, we have moved up the ladder in terms of the overall economic stature and structure. So that's also fueling it a lot.
As well.
And a lot of exposure as well, global exposure as well, right? Sitting at your home, you can see the latest trend in NYC, right? So a lot of these things are also impacting. I wanted to just discuss this point, Meryl, if you can just build on this, how this lifestyle demand is really fueling this entire organization of interiors as a market, and therefore organized players coming in and new trends emerging and standardization coming in and so on and so forth.
So, I'll come to that. So, like you just mentioned, lifestyle has, of course, become a major part of a lot of consumers, and that to the builders and the real estate, industry is adding a lot of amenities into the clubhouses. Making lifestyle changes in, not just within the unit that they purchase, but also a more publicly available amenity that can improve their lifestyle. That is also something that the market is taking a shift into. Now, coming to a unit or that they're buying, whether it is a residence, an apartment, or a villa, a farmhouse, whatever it is, I think some of the very important lifestyle changes that people are making or requesting, in my experience or in my practice, what I've seen is that they've been asking for safety features. They're also asking for accessible design, because a lot of people are now they're living with their family, and they have their own grandparents and parents. A lot of sicknesses have come in after the COVID, and there is a rising demand for accessible design, where they want wider doors. And if you notice, a lot of the builders now have wider doors. Now, that is not just a design aesthetic, but it's also accessible, because a wheelchair has to be able to come in, so it's barrier free design. And when you talk about safety features, it's not just about a smart lock that they're looking for anymore. They're also looking at small little things, like just very very small details, like a grab bar inside a washroom, or an anti-slip flooring that has been provided, or some of these small little things which are adding to features. And I think that also will count as lifestyle change, in my understanding.
Absolutely, and Faisal, on this point itself, senior citizen living or silver living is something which is an important agenda, and it's something which is driving not only other aspects of real estate, but I'm sure interior market as well, right? The point that Meryl was making. How is this trend actually developing? This entire concept of around accessible spaces and anti-skid flooring and whole lot of other support system that seniors want, also from a security and safety point of view. How are some of these things driving the interiors market right now?
So basically, the senior living market by itself is a very interesting market because India did not have that niche at all.
Correct.
It's so one is making your primary residences safer and better for aging parents.
Yeah.
Because now we have the earlier generation to us, which is significantly aging. So one is retrospectively changing your house or having new houses designed for the conveniences for wheelchairs and so on and so forth. As Meryl mentioned, one very interesting thing that you'd see now is that we have the highest amount of residences ever to actually have a lift as a very common element now in villas. You would have never seen this before. But now a lift in a villa is just taken as a mainstay. Now the senior living market by itself is a whole different story already. That by itself is an emerging market, tremendously big emerging market. So if you see, Coimbatore was absolute king in this.
And I was coming to that. You have now projects which are dedicated to this, and they're designed in a very different way with all the health, wellness, and safety related issues built inside them. Rishabh, this entire space of recreation and children and spaces for kids and their safety and everything else is also one of the big ask and big demand from a lot of users, because at least the first time home buyers are who are expecting their first child, or those who have a child and getting into the market would demand these kind of services. What are the kind of trends you are noticing over there?
I think on the same note, it is very important to keep in mind everyone, not just young people, old people, mid-age people, everyone. So, like in the same way, like how green spaces are important, I feel spaces for kids to play and move around is very important. And a lot of people these days, whenever you talk about property, the one of the main things they would want is a place where their kids can not just play but also socialize with other kids. They need some space wherein they can learn from other kids, move around with other kids. They have friends to make, and they have some time whenever they are home to spend with.
Kristen, also with shrinking sizes in schools, the play areas shrinking, and all these sports areas that are shrinking in size, they're moving more towards virtual reality and other things. Even in schools, smart classrooms. I think it's very important to bring in a lifestyle where they're back home and they have access to a good lifestyle, and gives them access to more openness and, like you said, a socializing environment which is safe and effective.
Yeah, I mean, as a parent of young kids, I can tell you the primary requirement that I will have is if I can remotely switch off the Wi-Fi.
I wouldn't disagree. I have 3 kids at home, and I think that's the need of the hour.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's just build a little bit upon how all these trends are enhancing the overall real estate value and property value as such. And let's start with you, Shruti. On the commercial side, on the office space side, we have a whole new thing coming in, right? We have data centers coming in, GCCs. We have large scale, large format retails coming in. There are a whole lot of things happening there on the commercial side, right? Where at an institutional level, work happens, and there's a lot of technology, or there's a lot of trend that gets immersed into designing. How are you seeing that as an enhancer of the overall value of the property itself, right? The sustainability solutions, the green spaces, the security safety solutions, and whole lot of these things. How are they helping in enhancing the overall, not aesthetics appeal, but also the overall valuation of the property itself?
Person, as you see, the trend is towards, people don't want to, or I would say the customers don't want to anymore go to different parties for different requirements anymore, right? So in our industry, there has been a shift post pandemic where, client looks forward to one point of contact, that you give me everything, one point solution.
So you're saying there's a lot of consolidation happening.
Yes, yes. So As far as real estate comes into the picture, they have also played a very important role in, changing the game. As far as they give the amenities, the whole experience that from the time you get dropped off to your suite or your office space or workplace that you get, there has been a different completely package that they offer. Not only in terms of experience, they also have upped their game in terms of infrastructure that they provide, uh, which can adapt today's need of technologies and data centers and things like that. Thirdly, is the amenities. Like as we all spoke about the lifestyle change, everybody's working today. You hardly find somebody, not working. So amenities like investing in health and fitness and creche and cafeterias with amenities like different food options, and so this is all become part of real estate value addition that today people are giving. Also, apart from that, now sustainability being the core, and right, I'm sure Western world has picked up long time back, but that trend is very strongly coming in Asian parts of the world, where people are looking for sustainability, looking at the climate change. So sustainability is also become one of the factors. So if my real estate property is already a gold rated or a platinum rated, that becomes one more value add points for people who have their global accounts and are trying to set up here, so that mandates are taken care of when I'm taking in that property.
Sure, sure. Faisal, just building on what Shruti is saying, all these ideas, there are two things here at play, right? One is for a lot of these mandates, say for example, in case of GCC's data centers and a lot of these new age office spaces, the mandates are global mandates, right? They are coming from US or UK based entities, and therefore they're bringing their best SOPs into the country, and therefore we are building and kind of learning. So that's one aspect of it. The other aspect also is that with Gen Z and late millennials being the primary workforce, their requirements, their demands are very, very different than what the previous generations were. How is this going to shape up in coming years further? How is this going to move, and what kind of directions you see happening here?
A lot of demand now is driven by sustainability, in the sense that a lot of the real estate market wants a sustainability tag. A lot of the builders that we see here in Hyderabad, have very prominent advertising that their residential estates or their commercial estates are a certain level of sustainability rated. The Gen Zs specifically and the late millennials, as you spoke about, are genuinely very conscious of this, and that is something that you really have to respect. They this is a segment of the market that demands a certain level of accountability in built environments, and is also very vocal about it when they don't get it right. And a lot of the demand that you will see coming in as Gen Z ages further is that these guys will typically prefer to live in houses which they know are sustainably made and sustainably operated in the true sense.
So you are saying the late millennials and Gen Z over a period of time will mainstream a lot of these things, and this will no longer be just another mandate, but it will be part of a normal designing process, the way a lot of other things are done.
It has to be also, as architects, and most architects, I would definitely vouch for the fraternity in this, really want to do a very credible job of being sustainable. But sustainability, Prasoon, comes at a price.
Yes, it does.
It's not cheap. It comes at about a 15 to 20% premium minimum, right? So you need clients who are just as conscious for the build. But we are definitely seeing a huge driver in the segment that I just mentioned, that they want to live in these kind of environments, in sustainable environments.
I'm very curious to know, in Western markets where the sustainability as a concept is far more developed, say, and or far more mainstream, that would be the right way to put it. Isn't the scale helping bring down the cost there? And is sustainability therefore always going to be a premium, or with scale you think it will be kind of managed from a cost point of view?
No, so in India, unfortunately, we don't have government policies to support sustainability.
Okay.
In the West, you have the government and the private sector working hand in hand at achieving certain climate goals.
Okay.
In India, these are two disparate sections, right? The architects are trying to do what they can. The real estate sector, for whatever motives they have, are also trying to do their job. But from the government point of view, we don't have policies that say, fine, if you are a LEED Gold rated, that we will maybe forgive your property tax for 5 years or 10 years, or you'll have this level of subsidy or that level of subsidy. A very small example in the US, as I'm sure you know, if you drive an e-vehicle, you can go on the fast track lane, even though if you're a single occupant, right? So the government and the private sector has to work together to achieve any tangible momentum on this. This cannot only be done by a single hand.
Okay, so you are saying a lot of policy intervention could be required for this to become mainstream. Rishabh, coming to you with the same thought, how mainstream is this likely to be in years to come?
Basically, I feel it again comes down to awareness. Now, know that they are paying premium. Faisal is absolutely right. If it is sustainable, if we are building sustainable, you have to pay 20% extra. But people do understand the reason why they are paying this premium. And that's the reason a lot of customers do move towards sustainable building and sustainable solutions. On the same note, what Faisal was highlighting, I really appreciate that. I really think government should work towards having subsidies wherein they would push sustainable buildings. And apart from this as well, if you think about sustainability is not just building. I feel it is about a lifestyle what you are adopting, so that your environment lasts longer. That's the ultimate thing about sustainability.
Yes.
So I think on very basic point, wherein if we start using eco-friendly materials and energy efficient lighting, if we work on those basic things also, I think we can move towards sustainability as well.
Yes, yes.
Just extending to what Rishabh had mentioned, Prasun, just for your audience's information, India natively vernacular architecture is sustainable.
I keep saying this, we are a country which gave birth to the concept of recycling, right? We have learned to recycle everything traditionally. Somewhere down the line, of course, we forgot that, but yes.
Precisely. So if you see our vernacular architecture, right, all of it is meant to be sustainable just by the way our society has been built across centuries. If you just maybe take a technology such as rammed earth, right? Now, rammed earth is tremendously sustainable, but then it comes at a very heavy cost in terms of very specialized manpower and stuff like that. Now, if we had sectors of the government that had more mainstreamed it, put it as an ITI training centers or whatever it is, then there's a lot of help that a government intervention can do. By the way, the biggest rammed earth structure in the entire world is in India. And it is not even residential, it's commercial. It's the Lalit Mangar Hotel in Haryana.
Okay.
The world's biggest rammed earth. The entire hotel is made out of rammed earth. So these are what conscious corporates can do. They can make a very serious dent in all of these things.
By the way, India also has the fourth highest LEED certified buildings in the world. That's also a stat there, right? So maybe we are moving in the right direction.
Highest concentration of sustainable houses are where? In Bangalore.
Okay, Shruti, I wanted to build one more point, which was around since we are talking about how interiors adds value, to real estate and how it helps, improve property valuation as such as well. The point that I wanted to build upon was how much of consolidation stroke standardization of the category, because it was a fragmented category and multiple local players, right from a carpenter to a big design house. Everyone was part of this industry and is part of this industry indeed. How consolidation there and how standardization there is going to help and overall therefore improve the valuation of real estate.
I think as I mentioned in my earlier point, where client doesn't want to go pillar to post, okay, I think consolidation is the only option that everyone is looking at and everyone is inching towards it.
But how will it help? How will it help, for example, either bring down the cost or improve the property valuation?
I would feel every activity has a pro and a con to it. So it of course helps in terms of that everything is under one roof. You have to only contact one person, and the things can happen more coordinated way, right? So that is what we feel that it helps. And in terms of cons, yes, you put all the eggs in one basket, and they can work, they can not work, kind of thing. So I would say there is pros and cons to both the things, but the trend is to look at a consolidated way, and that's what the Indian industry is looking at today.
Okay. Rishabh, in your opinion, standardization, because that's been one of the challenges, right? I mean, the end delivery of the product, where the quality standards and lack of standardization in terms of output, etc., has been a major challenge, right? How is standardization going to help the overall outcome and therefore increase the valuation of the real estate itself?
It is going to help drastically. See, we all started with telling how the interior industry was unorganized and we are moving towards organized. The way we are making it organized is by making standards in it. If you are able to make standards, only that's the way where we can make it organized. And also, like we know, okay, when you can order something on your phone, it's going to come at your home. It is making it easy for you, right? When something makes something easy for a customer, definitely customer, even if they have to pay premium, they'll opt for it. So by standardizing it, probably we are making it little premium, they're paying little extra, but definitely customer will pay premium for it, and the property value is definitely going to increase. Let it be for rentals, let it be for resale.
Okay, all right.
Kristen, also, I think one of the main reasons why builders or real estate tycoons are moving towards bringing standardized things into their units also, or their overall construction. Say, for example, whether it's just a brand or whether it's whatever it is. The reason why they do that is because consumers are looking at lower maintenance. They really don't want to get into the headache of having to maintain what they've already purchased. So having a standardized approach brings down that and also increases the trust factor from a consumer onto their builder or their architect or whatever. It's just simple example is that if we are to do interiors, a very simple, like even if it's a carpenter doing a job, the first question the client will ask is what grade of ply is this. So everybody is aware, and the awareness that brands in itself, vendors, brands, architects, the fraternity, in the whole has brought awareness to consumers. Those standards are sitting in the minds of the people, and that when you offer, you can definitely bring in a higher rental value, or you can capitalize on it better, because I think everybody is willing to pay for standard quality of life. These are words that resonate with consumers.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Let's capture some of the trends that are there emerging globally, and probably coming to India as well, that consumers can look forward to, should know about. That it's all about spreading awareness, as Rishabh says. So Faisal, let's start with you. Right, what are some of these trends that you are seeing that are emerging globally, which you think consumers should be aware, and we should adapt those in our scheme of things as well?
There is a bit of a maximalism that's coming in, right? There's a lot of appreciation of art that's coming in. If you've been to the last India Art Fair in Delhi, Indian artisans are, I think, at their very best today in terms of what they're producing in India, and they have a tremendous market that's not only appreciating what they're doing but also paying them fair value. Right? We are commissioning more artists today for artwork in our residences, in our projects, than we have ever done before, and clients are paying for it very willingly and with complete consciousness of what they're buying.
So art is one of the trends that you're saying should be looking at.
I think smart home integration and IoT integration is something that is a luxury outside of India. But in India, it's part of pretty much every project that's coming up, whether it's in individual home or whether it is a gated community or a villa community or farmhouse community, whatever it is. We're able to bring that at such an affordable price. And I think that is a trend that the world is going to pick up from us.
Okay, all right. Shruti, from institutional stroke commercial design perspective, what are some of the trends that you think are emerging there?
For us, the right now the core is inclusivity, sustainability, and wellness. These are the three core trends which are going on in every office. Everybody wants to have them as one of the amenities or the facilities that they are offering to their employees.
Okay, all right. Rishabh, what will be your take of some of the emerging trends?
I feel especially places like Mumbai and Hyderabad, Bangalore, and main cities in the whole world as well. Multifunctional spaces and flexible spaces is something which is trending now. Especially after COVID, I would say everyone understand how important it is to have a multifunctional space. Let it be commercial or let it be residential.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, and basically, if we
Would multifunctional space also mean going more modular?
yeah, we can say that also, like in modular as well, we can make it multifunctional too. Like
Okay.
especially this thing, like especially after COVID, this thing started trending, which is called foldable study table, wherein in less spaces wherein you would open it, you will use it as study table. When you don't need it, you'll just close it off.
The entire need for working from home, in a way, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's great. Viewers, interesting trends emerging, and interiors definitely adds a lot of value to property and real estate. If you have nicely done interiors, your property price valuations go up. And there are a lot of trends emerging there, including consolidation, standardization, new trends coming in. And as per our panelists, we are probably at par or ahead of a lot of countries which are developed as well in terms of our sense of aesthetics and our implementation of interior solutions. We'll come back with many more such interesting topics. Keep watching MBTV and don't forget to like, share, and comment.